Oh, the joys of technology. Welcome to Java Chat, the broadcast, the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify or Anchor.fm, thanks for joining me. My name is Coffee with Mike, and I'm sitting here to talk to you about machine learning and how it can actually help you increase your return on ad spend, basically driving down the cost of acquisition by personalizing and individualizing messages, not automating, not doing the big lead spill. A lot of businesses have that misinformation that automation is the way to go. While some parts of it, yes, are worthwhile, when it comes to actual targeting and things of that nature, it needs to be a little better. And with the technology we have available to us now, really got to start implementing it. So, last week we talked about two of the forces that compete for your profits that were the big suppliers and your existing competitors. There's three more, and they're just as dangerous as the first two when it comes to your profits and your return on ad spend, your cost of acquisition. The first one are new entrants to the marketplace. That's new competitors, whether they come in as a Me Too project with a lot of money, or they come with a new, maybe an alternative or a slightly different take on your product or service, whatever that may be. In the case of a financial planner, it might be using a different insurance company for a life policy that isn't an index product. It might be some other kind of product. When it comes to something like a personal injury attorney, which is really hard to differentiate, it may be more based on customer service or something of that nature. Medical spas, whether you offer IV treatments versus cold sculpting versus cryo treatments or something of that nature, you will always have new competitors coming into the marketplace. That's just how it goes. They can whittle away your profits too if their brand gets in front of yours through their marketing efforts, and they're able to educate people before you do. And that's totally possible with a lot of the tools that are out there today and all of the strategies and how to do print tracking, attribution, things of that nature. They all matter. Okay, I'm not here to say that anything that's out there is no good. You want to go fight with those guys, you feel free to go right ahead, but there's a lot of good people out there with a lot of good strategies, things that actually work now that will help you to optimize to a certain level. What I'm talking about is the next level after that. Okay, after the existing competitors, I mentioned it, substitutes and alternatives. There's always something that can be in the place of. Instead of having to pay $10,000 for this, you can pay $2,000 for this, or instead of paying $100 for this, you can pay $10 for this. It's an alternative. Is it the best? Is it the same? Does it have all the same features? No. Can you get by with it? Probably. So that's the difference between, forgive me for saying this, but that's the difference between using Salesforce and Zoho. Zoho, which is practically free unless you want certain tools, you start adding on stuff, versus Salesforce, which is pay right out the gate. You know, you can have a trial for I think 12 or 14 days, then you got to pay. And they're, by the way, they're a great system. I've used their system in certain companies. Amazing, built out, killer deal. The guys that do it, they do a great job. They did a great job with what they built as far as the tool is concerned. However, for the smaller businesses, can be really pricey really quick. And if you're not really a programmer, I mean, it gets tough. The learning curve gets pretty tough. So you have other alternatives though, like Zoho, which isn't so hard. Sugar, which isn't so hard. There is some programming that's still needed there. There's the new one, Keep, which now Neil Patel is advocating for. All good alternatives to Salesforce. So Salesforce is competing, trying to keep those guys from cutting into their market share. Now, while they're more enterprise nowadays, they still have small business solutions, and depending on the size of your business, they may be a great solution. But at the same time, there's alternatives and substitutes that are looking to take away from that. The last one, and these are the, in my opinion, this particular force to me is the most deadly because of how much information is actually available. It's the powerful buyer. It's the one that knows how to negotiate a deal. It's the one that knows how to get out and use Google properly to basically compare you to everybody else. I can sit there and go, well, you might be Salesforce, but I can do the same thing with Zoho. Why should I choose you over Zoho? Why should I choose ABC MedSpa over XYZ MedSpa? Why should I choose this particular personal injury or bankruptcy attorney over this one? Okay, They will sit there and they will drill until they are absolutely either one of two things. They're absolutely sure they're getting the best deal possible, or they're going to drill down until they can get the best deal possible, costing you your profit line. So where your profit line may be in the sand, all of a sudden they're going to start pushing it back and pushing it back, going, no, 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 I want more while paying you less. This is natural. This is every human's desire, is to get the best deal possible for as little as they can possibly spend. Not unusual. I call that the most dangerous, because if they can get it out of you, they will. I hate to say that's still a us versus them mentality, but once you get into that negotiation stage, it's a fight. Unless you happen to be the one that has been educating that buyer along the journey. In other words, you started talking to them way outside of your funnel. They haven't even been to your website yet, but you had videos, you had content, you had blogs and stuff out there on the web, which is a combination of SEO and other things. But when you're getting into paid advertising, you still need to get that stuff out there. You may drive traffic towards a YouTube or Vimeo video. You may drive it to a landing page, not to get information, by the way. Your first drive may have nothing to do with being on your website. It's just to educate them, just to tell them what they're looking at and what they should be looking for while they're looking at it. You're beginning the education process. You're putting your brand in their head to start. You become the bar or the standard by which everybody else will be measured. If you can get there in the first, second, or third place, you will be most likely the benchmark. And that's what you want to be. In order to be able to do that, though, you have to know how to get, and this is, again, all those strategies: print tracking, attribution, custom audience, lookalike audiences, proper setups for those audience interests and hobbies. The only thing you can't get a hold of is behavior. That belongs to those powerful suppliers again. So when you have the availability of machine learning and identity resolution to your business, you can then take that behavioral data, and now instead of broadcasting to a market to get an audience and then begin to pick out of that audience, you're now looking at an audience and literally pulling out the individuals that are looking for your product or service early, what we call in market, and begin to talk to them. Talk to them now. Talk to them while they're starting to realize, hey, I might have a need for cold sculpting because I got a couple extra pounds over here. Or I might need services for bankruptcy because these bills are piling up. Or I might need to talk to a financial planner because I don't know if my 401k is any good. I don't know if I got the right kind of life insurance. Maybe I don't have enough in my annuity. Whatever. But the idea is that you're out there first talking to them, because that data is what the platforms are looking for, not just the custom data that you're renting from the big guys. Now you have the ability to fight 5 forces all at once. I hope this is making sense. Next week we're going to get deeper into how it actually works. I'm going to share a couple of case studies with you guys so you can see how this really goes and what it can actually do for you. All right? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate every single one of you. Keep going. Don't stop. We'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao for now.